What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new rebuild, and today we are going to be rebuilding Napoli over in the Serie A with the aim of winning the Champions League. But to be honest, we're going to give ourselves 5 seasons to try and win as much as what we can. If you do enjoy the rebuilds, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you can keep a comment below what rebuild you want to see next. It can be in the Serie A, the Bundesliga, whatever league you want. It does not really matter. We'll take on a league challenge. But today, we're going to try and get Napoli a few more trophies. Napoli in the game, we are aware of them. They are a massive team over in Italy, a 4.5-star reputation side, 4-star training, 3-star youth, and 1-star youth recruitment. Their only real weakness in all of this, to be honest with you, the owners absolutely love the club. The bank balance is okay. It's not the biggest of the biggest, but it's okay. It's nothing special, but we'll get the job done. Now, going over to the overview, they have won a fair few trophies. 3 Italian titles, 1 Europa League, 6 Italian Cups, 1 Italian Serie B, 2 Italian Super Cups, and 1 Italian Serie C1/B. Now, the main aim is to win a UCL. Now, that is going to be quite hard because, as I said, the money is okay. That's all you're going to get is okay money, not ridiculous budgets, but we're going to try and do it in 5 seasons using this tactic here, which is going to be the Deschamps France tactic. Now, it is a little bit different to a usual 4-2-3-1, and I am going to slightly tailor it to make sure the likes of Kavar, for example, can get the most out of him, because this player here is going to be one of 2 real core players in this team. Now, the likes of him and Asimhem are actually looking likely to go, but at the time of recording, which is going to be the 31st of the 7th, these are still Napoli players technically, so we are going to keep them for the purpose of this rebuild. But if this video gets 40 likes at all, then we will be doing another Napoli rebuild without these 2 individuals. But we are going to make sure Kavar's cutting in, having shots on goal, because he can do that to a very, very high level. Of course, he's not the only good players in the team, him and Victor Osimhen. You got the likes of Traore, again, a really good midfield player. Politano, not half bad either. The back line is average. I would say the backline is quite average, nothing too special right there. But of course, one of the key rules is going to be we make 0 signings. If I was going to, I would have actually had £30 million. So if you are playing back home, I would spend that and probably invest in the backline. As always, if you are interested in seeing this rebuild file for yourself and playing it, you can get it over on the Patreon at the end of the video, and you can carry on. And usually I set you boys and girls a little challenge back home to try and complete. But of course, the first season, 0 signings for us. We are playing in 4 competitions with a media prediction of around about a 4th place finish. Now, I personally think with this team, with this tactic, we can go at least and get inside that top 4. I don't think we're going to win it in the first season, purely because of the backline being quite weak. But let's go over into season 1 and see what we can do. Right into a Champions League final where, unfortunately, we are going to go 1-0 down inside of the 61st minute, and it ends there with a blunt goal coming in to wrap this final up 2-0 with Vinicius. It's unlucky. We're also going to come crashing out of the Italian Cup in the semi-final against AC Milan in 2-0 fashion. And again, more painful semi-final treatment going out against Fiorentina 3-2 in the Italian Super Cup. But, and there is a big saving grace, we have won the Italian Serie A, which I was not expecting to do, and we have won it by 8 points. So a very, very convincing first season. Victor Osimhen with 34 goals, 14 more than Lukaku in 2nd place. Osimhen and Di Lorenzo 1st and 2nd in that rating, and 2 players there with the 2nd most amount of assists. Now, I will say as well, clean sheet wise, we were really, really strong. And as a team overall, we were outscoring everyone, the best defensively, pretty much everything to go and get the job done. And although that is going to be just 1 trophy in a season, with 0 signings, a Champions League final appearance, apart from the Italian Cups, which technically you could say we could have done better in, we've done quite well, to be honest. We've actually won a league title, a really good, strong display in the Champions League. Now, individually, I know it's a team effort, but we'd like to have a little look at this and understand who pretty much carried. And to be fair, it is going to be these 2, Victor Osimhen and also Kavar, coming in with 44, 24, 15 coming in for Politano. Traore is going to be 13 and 10. So if I can get him, I will try and bring him in, although sometimes he doesn't want to join. So hopefully we can convince him to join. Again, other than that, we've got 22 assists down here coming in from Zielinski, obviously the Polish midfield player. We've got 14 here coming in from Mario Rui, doing his job at the age of 33. So a lot of players contribute in terms of assists as well. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with 10 plus assists in this season. Now, the schedule, I will just quickly go over it. We'll have a little scroll through. We were actually really consistent. I mean, a lot of green coming in there, not too many losses at all. Obviously, if you go all the way down, and the one real bad loss is going to be the Champions League final, but it is against Madrid in the first season. Now, I would imagine after that season, I'm expecting around about 40 million. It's not far off. It's a good prediction. At this point in the game, you can almost call it, right? So £44 million to spend on a team which, to be honest, needs improvements. You could argue everywhere apart from maybe the striker and the left-hand winger. You could technically upgrade the middle, the right, the midfield, the entire back line, and the goalkeeper. Of course, we are going to lose some players here. Traore, we might be losing, again, a player who I actually really like in this game, so I'm going to try and keep him. This goalkeeper here, who didn't really play at all, not going to be too upset about losing him. But we have got 3 players also coming back from loan in this individual here, who, to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to use him too much. We've also got Zerbin coming back, who might get some game time as a backup potentially, and this guy right here. So nothing too special coming back, to be honest with you, but overall 2 losses in terms of, you know, important players. So let's go into the second transfer window and try and spend a bit of this 44 million on some replacements. So a player that was already agreed to coming in is going to be Matija Popovic, coming in on the free, a leading Serie C player, so probably won't see him too much in the video. The player I did sign, that is going to be Malik 4, coming in from AC Milan, and this guy is going to cost you a lot of money because you are signing directly from a very strong Italian team. £57 million, but for a player that looks this good at the age of 22, welcome in. I needed a left back, and I needed a strong left back that preferably was Italian. Now, because I wanted an Italian left back, you pay more because obviously it helps you in registration terms, and I signed directly from Juventus, a very big Italian team. So he cost me £32 million, but he just looks really well rounded. Good tackling, good passing, good crossing, good acceleration, good agility, good pace, 24, can play on the right and on the left. It's a no-brainer. On loan, with the option to buy for 6.4 million, which obviously I'm going to do, as you can see right now, Renato Sanchez. He is not obviously going to be a De Jong level player, but for 6.4 million, you can't really complain. Even if he has a pretty poor season, 6.4 million for Renato Sanchez, he can come in. Lastly, it is going to be Joris Chotard coming in from Montpellier. Again, a player that has never played over in Italy, but hopefully he is going to develop quite well. He is essentially the perfect deep line playmaker in my opinion. The passing's there. Everything that I would want for a deep line playmaker is going to be in Chotard, and hopefully he is going to come in and have some form of an impact. Now, of course, we are going to have business going out. As you can see, we've got several players leaving here on the right-hand side. The only paid bit of business going out is going to be Mario Roy. Going to Al Etafik, I believe how you say that. He is going to be going for 6.2 million, so even after these years, we have turned a 1.2 million pounds profit. And on this page, Juan Jesus is going to go to Monaco for 2.2 million, I believe. So a bit of a loss there in terms of the money. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was a free transfer. I was looking at Roma's cost then. A free transfer. So again, money being made, and the team now looks a little bit like this. So let's go over and actually filter it by the best 11, and it is going to consist of Mere, Di Lorenzo, Rarami, 4, Oliveira, Angucia, Lobotka, Politano, Lindstrom, Kavar, and Osimhen. So nothing too drastic does change. Obviously, we've still got Renato Sanchez. I would like to quickly say I have changed a couple of things in this tactic, but the one that is really going to make the big impact is having Kavar now as an inverted winger on shoot more often and roam from position. Now, what I will say is the team is still looking quite small in terms of rotation. So this season, again, might not be a Champions League winning season, but I feel like we have improved in certain areas. And again, we have spent most of the money given to us, so we can only spend what we've really got. Now, going over to the competitions, we are playing in 4 competitions again, the same 4 competitions, and they are predicting a finish of 2nd place. So 2 places up. Of course, we did win it last year, and I do think we can win the league again. I just don't think we're quite ready yet to pull off a treble or a quadruple winning season. Let's get into Season 2. So into the Italian Super Cup final, 4 plays it into a midfield player, into Politano, into Lindstrom to make it 1-0 inside of 3 minutes. And we then go again with Lindstrom into Politano down the right, cuts it back inside into an injured Victor Osimhen, who still tucks it away, and 1 more goal to come, which does mean we do win this 2-1 with a consolation, which meant nothing. Runners up in the Italian Cup as we get a taste of losing the cup final by a goal, where AC Milan beat us 3-2. We beat a team 2-1 by 1 goal. It comes back as karma, and it gets even worse. It gets even worse because we lose the Champions League final again against the same team. What are the chances of that even happening? It is absolute heartbreak, back-to-back years, both against Madrid, both getting to the final, and both quite close games to be fair. And going over to the league, we are going to win the league again, which again is really impressive. Again, a big point difference. Osimhen and Kavar being the real big players, 3 players in the average rating, 2 players in the most assists, and again, the most most clean sheets, with us stuffing Como 6-1 towards the end of the season. So a really strong display. Again, most goals, most shots, most clean sheets, and the fewest conceded. But I can't help but bring up that Champions League once again. As a season, 2 trophies, not too bad. But again, we are a little bit off being a team that can pull off a treble. That has to be said. But going over to the squad right now, we can go and see, and we can see Victor with 60 goals, 39 for Kvar, Politano with 23 goals and 35 assists. Technically performing better than Kvar by the average rating. Lindstrom enjoying a great season, 16 assists for Di Lorenzo, 17 for Cambiasso. Really good stat lines coming in, a lot of assists from a lot of different players, and quite frankly, a lot of goals as well. And this is really a good sign of a team that is going to perform really well going forwards. Now, despite not winning the Champions League and the Italian Cup, we brought home another trophy and the Italian Super Cup. I would like to think at least 53 million, 43 million pounds. Again, you never get a lot with Napoli, so you've really got to try and work your way up slowly through the rankings. Now, in terms of a team, we can look at this team and we can talk. Now, Renato Sanchez is going to come in permanently. We all know this. It's old news. Looking at the rest of the team, let's filter again by that best 11. We can get a rough understanding. Now, realistically, Asimhem never needs replacing. Kvar never does. Lindstrom's doing well, but as you can see by the rating, is only a 2.5, so maybe we can get someone else in that position. Politano does not need replacing. The midfield's good, but maybe a little bit better backup, although Lobotka is actually is a really well-rounded player, so maybe that's okay. I just think maybe another centre-back potentially, see where we can spend the money. What I'm trying to say is there is definitely room for improvement in this team, whether that be in the starting 11 or on the bench. So let's get into season 3 of the transfers and see what we can do with 43 million. First player coming in is going to be Ronnie Bargi. I know I was talking about defenders and I've gone for a winger, but when you see how much I spent on him, 16 million pounds, you have to bring in players like this. Personally, I don't even really rate him in real life, but in the game, we don't even need to discuss him. We know how good he is. I've decided to add another player in that sort of attacker midfield role. That is going to be Lazar Samardich. Now, I did want Florian Wirtz, but 189 million and 415,000 £1,000 a week, it's not really too approachable with Napoli. So we have gone with this player here, and he cost me 23 million. And do you know what? For a player like this for 23 million, quite easy to poach from Udinese. We're going to take him any day. I've already seen him, but the last signing for us is going to be the Renato Sanchez. And as you can see, he actually comes in for 4.9 million transfer fee, the other money being paid out on the loan to have him here in the first place. But again, another good player, and that is going to be all of our players that we brought in. We have got players going out. We've got Gattiano, we've got Mazzone, we've got 2 other players here on this page. And to finish it off, again, there's one more departure, which is going to be this player here, who literally offers nothing, to be honest. So overall, we've kept the spending quite tame this season, only bringing in 2 new faces, as Renato Sanchez was here last season. But if we go to the tactics right now, we can go and see what I would do if I was putting the team out. So it would be Mere, Di Lorenzo, Rarami, 4, Cambiasso, Sanchez, Angucia, Samardzic, Politano, Kvar, and Asimhem. If you filter by the best 11, I think Lindstrom gets him. He does, which is very interesting. So a good fight for that shadow striker role. And what I will say now is we've got Bargi on the bench, who can come on and be an absolute menace on the right and on the left-hand side. We've obviously got Samardzic as well. We are slowly making this team a lot more sort of depthy. That's not even a word. A lot more depth in the team is what I'm trying to say. A lot more players that can come in and cause issues, and it's quite handy because we are now, of course, playing in the same 4 competitions, and the recurrent pattern has been we're getting close, but that far off actually completing a treble or a quadruple. And I just think adding a couple more players into the mix is what we need to do. Now, we are going to be predicted to finish in first place, and I was going to say it's got to be coming because we've played 2, we've won 2 titles. Let's get into season 3. We'll make it 3 for 3. Imagine this: 3 Champions League finals, 3 games against Real Madrid, back-to-back seasons. They've signed Florian Wirtz, and they're going to get off to a perfect start. Of course they are. It's Real Madrid, a 1-0 start with Lukaku scoring. But this time things are different. We come back and we get back into the game inside of 12 minutes with Lindstrom. And look who gets us the Champions League winning goal. Oliveira into Raspadore into Samardzic, a 2-1 win. That is right. We have finally won the Champions League. Unlike the other 2 seasons where it was so close, we have finally got the job done. We also are going to make it 3 for 3 in terms of Serie A titles, which means 4 out of 4, because obviously they won the one before. But for us in charge, 3 out of 3. Again, a lot of points advantage. Asimov and Cave are doing their job to a very high level. 3 players in the average rating. Second most amount of clean sheets, so falling off a little bit there. The most assists with Ronnie Bargi contributing heavily alongside of Lindstrom. But once again, it is going to be the most goals and also, the most shots coming through. Now, what I have noticed is, defensively, we are falling off a little bit compared to the other teams, so I think that is where the money does definitely need to be spent going into the 4th transfer window. But of course, did we do the treble? No. It's going to be another double winning season, but much more of an attractive double winning season. The League and the Champions League. Runners-up in the Italian Super Cup, losing to AC Milan 2-1 in extra time. So again, one goal game cost us from winning the treble again. And the Italian Cup, we're going to go out in the semi-finals against Fiorentina, which, to be honest, at this point, we actually lost 5-0. So, I mean, it's an absolute battering in that second leg. That is unacceptable, because we should be beating them by any means. Now, I will say, as a squad, I'm expecting some stat lines, and I'm getting stat lines. 55 for Victor, 44 for Kavar, Lindstrom 22, 15 for Di Lorenzo, Bargi with 13. But do you know what's more impressive? The assists. 32 for Lindstrom, Bargi with 23, Kavar with 21, Cambiasso 15, 14 for Politano, and Gucia with 12, 12 for Di Lorenzo. We've got Sanchez with 8, we've got 6 for Samardzic. We have got so many players contributing in different areas. We are purely going to be destined for greatness. We are going to be coming out and winning a lot of trophies because our players are getting involved every single time. Now, although it's not a treble winning season, I keep saying it, we must be very, very close to making that happen now. Now, I do think after a Champions League win and a league win, I'm expecting 60 million. It's an absolute joke. The budget is not going up. We're going to have a total of £48 million going into the 4th transfer window. And we're doing well. We're winning a lot of these games right now, but we are this close to becoming a treble winning team, quadruple winning team. It's times like this where you need the budget. First up is going to be a backup right back / first team in the future. That is going to be Bellanova, coming in from Torino. Again, Italian, incredibly good for registration. Very quick on the ball, very good attacking as well, with 14 crossing and a load of pace. He's going to cost me £39 million, so quite a pricey start to the window, but I will say it, all of the next players you're going to see are free signings. First free signing is going to be Gabri Veiga, coming in from the Saudi League on the free, a player who is valued at 24 to 29 million on £140,000 a week, but he is one of the most sought after free agents in the game. He's incredible, he's a young player, and he can get into this team quite easily. Next up, I'm pretty sure everyone gets this guy when they can. Mark Gurhey, of course, from Crystal Palace. An incredible quick centre-back, good fitness, good tackling, good positioning, good off-the-ball work as well, and very good leadership for a 25-year-old. He cost me a grand total of £0, and he's only on 170 grand a week, which actually sounds like quite a fair bit. But when you are spending nothing on a player when he's valued at 77 million, you're not going to complain. I take risks with transfers, and oh boy, this is going to be a risk. Jadon Sancho is going to come in on the free on £200,000 a week, but again, similar to Gurhey, his value is at 60 to 72 million. If he is awful, I can sell him and recover that wage. Now again, this is a player that was valued at 73 million from Manchester United, so the value is there as a player. I just think he needs the right system, the right manager, and the right league, and I'm hoping that can be in the Serie A. Now, what I will say is, that is going to be all of the signings done. We've got one player going out on the free, bringing in the free players, letting one go on the free right there, and I think our freebies are a lot better. But let's go over to the tactics page and of course have a little look. We are going to filter by the best 11 and see where it puts people. Sancho not in the first team, Politano deservedly keeping his spot there, and to be honest, apart from Gurhey, the same players staying in the team, which I don't mind because I'm sure the match engine will be smart enough to give Gabri Veiga an opportunity, give Samardzic some more games, Sancho, Bargi, etc, etc. But I will say now, our wingers are incredible. We've got Kavar, Politano, Bargi, Sancho. We have got so many good wingers in this team. It's unreal. The depth now is really coming on tenfold. And what I will say is we are now playing in 5 competitions, so we are going to need the depth. It's going to be the Serie A, the Champions League, the Super Cup, the Italian Cup, and the Italian Super Cup, and they are going to be predicting a finish of first place. There is no shot we're going to make this 4 for 4. Let's go and see. Our first appearance in the Italian Cup final, I believe, and we go out to a flying start with Jadon Sancho inside of 10 minutes, and do you know what? Jadon Sancho got one. He had to do it again with Cambiasso coming in, and it is going to be Sancho backstick to make it 2 in 17 minutes. 20 minutes on the clock now with Victor into Cambiasso. Kvar injured, but it's not going to stop us as Victor is going to make it 3-0, and there's going to be time for one more goal to make it 4. Jadon Sancho down the left-hand side into the middle. So easy from Jadon. Appears to be playing really, really well, as we are going to make it 5 with a set piece there from 4, and there is still going to be time for another goal, believe it or not, with Lindstrom into Politano. You would have thought it would have stopped there. It doesn't stop there. Time for one more goal. Di Lorenzo to make this a 7-0 cup final. What a strike. We're also going to win the Super Cup 2-0 against Lazio. We'll take it. Going to be your Italian Serie A runners-up, a 2-0 loss to Inter. Been in every Champions League final possible since this video begun, but unfortunately this time we are not going to be in a Champions League final as Bayern knock us out. And unfortunately, we are not going to be Italian Serie A champions either. We lose by 6 points, and to be honest with you, I'm not even annoyed because we have won 3 out of 4, and do you know what? At some point we're going to fold, and I'm not going to deep it too much because I just think it's one of them seasons where AC Milan must have strengthened, they must have gotten better, and we have won a couple of trophies I don't think we have won before, so it is completely fine. The annoying thing is the fact that it's happened all at the same time. So the league loss, the Champions League not getting to the final. Now they are very high expectations, but when you've been doing them, you start to think, have I brought in the right players? What's been going on, etc, etc. So the video is not going to end here because I'm going to do one more season and try and recover one of these trophies. If you are enjoying so far though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps the video out big time. But let's go through and see exactly what the players done, because maybe the players were the reason to this. So we have a bit of a fall off. I mean, Victor Osimhen coming in with 49, 34 for Jesper Lindstrom. We've got Kvar with 31, Sancho with 15. It's not as much as last season, is it? And I know Victor can't be expected to score 60 goals a season, but it's not as much as last season. And the same as the assists, though they are still really good stats, very good stats, but it's not as much, so it does explain the slow decline from winning the league, winning the Champions League, to now going to be winning Super Cups and Italian Cups, etc, etc. Now going into the last season, looking at the team, and I'm really looking at this team right now, we are going to have to be looking at bringing in some players. I mean, Sancho gets into the team now right away based off best players, and I'm looking at the back line. The back line looks pretty strong. The goalkeeper looks quite strong. Maybe a better backup goalkeeper, potentially. Maybe another midfield player, potentially. It's going to be a tough one. I'm hoping. I'm scared to look at the budget. I want to see 60 million. I've seen 60 million for the first time in the rebuild going into the 5th, and more than that, 81 million going into what is going to be the last transfer window of this video. Again, if you want the rebuild file, you can go and get it over on the Patreon and carry on from where I leave it off. Now, we are going to try and spend all of this money because I'm going to try and push for Season 5. Let's get into the transfers. I'll start with a free signing, a player who has played a lot in the Serie A for Atalanta and AS Roma before getting a little move to the Saudi League. Roger Ibanez, a leading Serie A defender. He's incredible. 17 tackling, very, very quick, good strength, good heading, good marking, a perfect centre-back, and he cost me £0. So again, considering he's only on 125 grand a week as well, I am never going to miss up on him. We're going to double up with centre-backs and bring in Fiata again, which does mean we are now going to have 2 incredible experienced centre-backs, with both of them costing me £0 to bring in. So again, we are not putting the club in the financial strain, 145 grand a week, and these are players which are worth £60 million. So I mean, we do an incredible business as well. I did spend big on this player though. I wanted a player who was Italian in the midfield, and do you know what? Asking for that alone is a big ask, because Tonali was at the top of my list, but I haven't got 298 million. Who would have put a bet on that one? And I will go and say, this player cost me 50 million. I'm going to be honest with you. I keep it real on the channel. He's not worth that sort of money, but again, you're taken from an Italian team. He's Italian, perfect for registration. He is a good player, but I don't know if it justifies the price. Same story can be told for this goalkeeper. Coming from Atalanta, I wanted a goalkeeper that can compete for my goalkeeper because he is getting a little bit older and he had to be Italian, and we got Italian taxed 46 million for this lad here. Now, I will say he does look very good, but he's not a 40 million goalkeeper if I was in the Premier League. He's more a 20 million. And a player on loan, and I've put you in a powerful position if you are going to get the rebuild file, because you can bring this guy in. There is an option, it's not guaranteed, but that is down to you if you want him. So this season, there's a lot of pressure on him, but I know how good this guy can be in the game, and I'm hoping that puts you guys under a bit of pressure to make the decision to, you know, are you going to buy him? How much is it going to cost? I dread to think, but that is on you right there. If we go on and carry on, we are going to get rid of some players as well. Now, some of these I would not have got rid of out of choice, Raspadori being one of them. To Lazio on the free, we are going to lose Lobotka on the free. Would not have let that happen either, but again, this happened sort of mid-season. We've got DeLuca going on the free. We have lost a few players, but again, we have gained a load of players as well. And this is going to be the final look of the Napoli team. In 2027, going into 2028, we are going to have the new man in goal. We've got Di Lorenzo, for Gurhi, Cambiasso, Ravella, that's how you say that, and Gucia, Sancho, Kavar, Bob, and Osimhen. This front four is easily a Champions League winning front four. The bench is probably a very good Premier League sort of top 6 team. It's absolutely incredible. We have turned this team around with a mixture of really good experienced players, some really good middle-aged players, and also some incredible youngsters in Ronnie Bargi. So, I mean, we have got a load of talent on this bench, a load of experience. We've ticked every single box going into the final season, and we are playing back in the 4 competitions, the Serie A, the Champions League, the Italian Cup, and that Super Cup, and they are going to be predicting a finish of first place again. Now, being honest, I've decided to do another season. I don't want to look like an idiot. I want to at least win the league or the Champions League. Let's get into season 5. Italian Cup final, I'm going to be honest with you, Victor Osimhen probably established why he is the best striker in this game at this stage, because he scored 4 goals in this final. I'm going to be honest, it was an absolute bloodbath. He's already got 2 inside of 7 minutes. Inter Milan absolutely crumbled. Sancho having his way there, and Osimhen picking up the scraps in the box to make it 3. And time for one more in the 81st minute. He's going to be there as well, just linger and look at this movement. Him in the box, you're never going to miss him. We are also going to go back to winning the Serie A and nearly going invincible in the last season, only losing 1 game against Fiorentina away, which I believe was one of our first games as well. So pretty much a perfect season. We've got 3 players in the goals, and I will say it, Oscar Bob is in there, so he's had a good season. We can see that already. Average rating, 3 players, 2 in the most assists, and the new goalkeeper picking up the most clean sheets. So maybe I was stupid for saying he was overpriced, because he's an absolute joke. Now, most goals, fewest conceded, most shots for. Now, we'll be honest, we have not won the Champions League. We have got to the quarterfinals and been battered by PSG, essentially. That is our worst performance out of, 5 seasons. But I will be honest with you, we have had so many Champions League final appearances. We've won 2, I believe. We've had such a good rebuild today. I mean, Italian Cup, we're not going to win that, a 2-1 defeat. But we have transformed this team into one Champions League, should I say, but we have won several league titles, Super Cups, Italian Cups, Italian Super Cups. We have won everything in this rebuild. It's been such a good rebuild. We've brought in some really good players. The finances are looking pretty tasty. £64 million, virtually no debt as well. The tactics, we'll go and look at the squad first actually, but 57 goals for Victor, Kavar with 33 for Oscar Bob, and 20 assists. You guys need to sign this guy, but it is your decision. 17 and 21 for Jadon Sancho. Everyone's playing so well. This tactic really suits the team very well as well. A couple more changes were made that will be included with the rebuild file over on the Patreon. And be sure to leave a like at this point if you haven't already. But I think we're going to call it there, guys, because we have completed the challenge, 5 seasons, and I'm going to say a very successful rebuild. That team on paper is still nuts. You've got players for the future, you've got players for the present, and if you're not happy with what you see, you've got £64 million to go and spend, with basically no debt as well. So a successful rebuild in my eyes. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Comment below one team you want to see next.